All right, all right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. And I see the attendee list is still growing a little bit, so we'll give everybody a minute. While everybody's joining, I'll introduce us here at Unity. My name is Keaton Shaheen. I'm the Strategic Initiatives and Marketing Manager here. So I'm in the operations department, kind of working with other ops managers and Steph, who runs our check exchange and Resubmit It services, is here as well. She'll be running a demo later in the presentation. So we're excited for everything we'll be covering today. Now, she wasn't able to make this call, but we're excited to announce the start of Janine Orlando, our new client relationship manager. So I'll put her contact information in a e-blast that I send out after the webinar, and I'll have her picture and her contact information so that you guys can get in touch with her, and then she'll probably reach out over the next couple of weeks to get in touch with you as well. In terms of the agenda today, what we will do is first cover a presentation, a slideshow that goes through all of Resubmit and its kind of comprehensive features and advantages and benefits of the service. Then I will dish it to Steph, who will do a live walkthrough of the Resubmit portal. And then lastly, we'll do a Q&A session. But even though we'll kind of do questions and answers at the end, at any time throughout the presentation, you can click on your screen the box that has the question mark in it called questions. Your questions are anonymous completely, so you can ask away. As we go through, I'll kind of pause every couple of slides to make sure that you have some time to type in any questions or points of clarification that you have. And then at the end, we'll go ahead and answer every single point. So again, I'll pause throughout the presentation to make sure you have time to do that, but your questions are fully anonymous. And we'll go ahead and get started in maybe 30 seconds or a minute. I know there's a few other folks jumping in. Very good. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. Even if there's a few folks who weren't able to join today, it looks like we almost have max attendance from everybody that signed up. But we'll also be putting this recording on our YouTube channel, and I'll provide that link in an email after the webinar as well. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. This webinar is fully focused on Resubmit, and that is our NSF returns recovery service. What is Resubmit? Resubmit is totally designed to empower financial institutions to effortlessly collect NSF return payments. And so at Unity, it is truly our all-in-one platform for representing all types of return items, including NSF, ACH, and check returns. Resubmit offers daily deposits. So Steph here, again, she is the backbone of the service, in it every single day, and we are running daily processing to ensure faster fund collection through automatic daily deposits. We also we offer improved cash flow. So the merchant receives full credit for every collected NSF item. And then lastly, it also lowers your costs. We're able to optimize the bank's operations to achieve cost savings and lower overall expenses by having Unity as running your back office. Now, why Resubmit? In a nutshell, Resubmit offers total improved efficiency and faster collections. We have the ability to scan checks directly into the system once we receive the items. There's zero hidden fees, no equipment necessary on your end. There is also a higher representment limit, up to $2,500 per check. And also in terms of the software, which Steph will show later in the presentation, it's extremely user-friendly, and it also offers single sign-on access as well. I'll pause for just a few seconds. If you have questions, feel free to, again, click that box on the webinar screen with the question mark. Your questions are fully anonymous. And if you have any questions up to this point, feel free to get those in. All right. Next, some metrics about the volumes we handle. We handle all check volumes. As a matter of fact, in a 1 month period, we've done over 1.3 million in total check amounts received, and that resulted in nearly 1.1 million in funds recovered for your merchants. So those are numbers we are very proud of, and that's what has made ResubmitIt so successful over the years. And additionally, that is over 2,500 checks scanned in a 1 month period as well. Of course, there's some fluctuations based on the amount of items we receive, but that is often an average that we see, and we can handle all check volumes. Next, we'll cover ineligible transactions. So you might be asking, can ResubmitIt recover all of my bad checks? The answer is no. Some items are not eligible for representment, and there's a few reasons why some transactions wouldn't be eligible. If the chargeback return reason is anything other than NSF, maybe account closed, stop payment, refer to maker, those would be statuses and examples of return reasons that would not be covered within ResubmitIt. Additionally, if the amount of the check is equal to or over $2,500, that would not qualify either. And if the check is more than 180 days old, that would also be deemed an ineligible transaction. Next, enrollments. New business accounts at the bank can be enrolled at account opening. So there is, with ResubmitIt, there is auto enroll feature built into the service because ResubmitIt is an optional feature for all the business accounts. And that's because accounts can also cancel at any time in the future. So there's no cost involved with the service. It's an add-on for the financial institution, and then the merchant can always choose to cancel if they choose to do so. Next is the recovery timeline. Once the item is received, ResubmitIt enters the transaction into the system, and it's live in the portal. This automatically puts the item into a representment status. And from that point, the entire recovery process usually takes about 5 to 7 business days for the funds to be then recovered. And as a reminder, business checks are represented once, whereas consumer checks are represented twice. And I'll go ahead and pause here again for about 30 seconds. If you have any questions on the last couple of slides, feel free to get those in the questions box as well. All right. Moving on. Advantages of ResubmitIt. We partner with a collection agency and offer collection agency support for uncollected returns. So we have a slide coming up in the presentation that touches on our recovery rate, which we feel is very high. But in the event that there's a situation where we can't collect the funds, we can activate the collection agency for further support. Additionally, we replace full in-house collection efforts. So that is involved with the lower expenses and the more optimized operational costs. Unity becomes the back office, and we receive and process all the items on your behalf. And then additionally, the software offers white labeling capabilities as well, so that staff members at the bank, as well as your merchants and your business accounts and users that have access to the portal, they'll all see proper branding. And here we have a client testimonial from one of our banks in the Northeast. They wrote to us and said, Unity's Resubmit service is truly seamless and has been a great addition to our treasury services. Their team is always responsive. Ding, 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 Steph. Their team is always responsive and easy to work with. Plus, our customers benefit at the end of the day. Resubmit has become a staple in our operations. And we wanted to include that here because truly that's at the heart of Resubmit. We want to offer incredible service and incredible efficiency as well, and ultimately great benefit for not only the bank but your customers at the end of the day. So that is a great testimonial. Next, to recap a couple of the services and features and the recovery rates. Again, there are no hidden charges or hidden fees with ResubmitIt. 100% of the face value of the check is paid back to the merchant. No equipment required, and we're able to recover funds faster with this service. In terms of the high recovery rates, we see on average we are able to have between 80 and 90% collection rates. So almost 9 times out of 10, we are collecting those funds and getting those processed successfully. Additionally, we're able to reduce internal operating costs and improve the cash flow by collecting more checks. In terms of the online reporting and the security, the online software, which we'll see here in a minute, offers 24/7 real-time access to all the data and all the activity that's not only happening through the bank, but also on the merchant side through a sub portal that they have access to. They'll see all of their business activity as well. It's very easy to use. We get a lot of great feedback on it, very point and click in essence. And you'll also see high resolution check images and complete statuses of all the checks and all the activity in the portal. In terms of security, the portal is extremely secure. We offer advanced fraud prevention technology, encryption, and secure data disposal. We are fully PCI DSS compliant, and we also have data SSAE 16 certifications, type 1 and type 2. We're audited every year and pass in flying colors, and so we want you to know that all of our software is always secure, and we offer extreme fraud prevention technology. Again, at the heart of Resubmit, faster fund collection guaranteed. So in terms of what's happening on the back end of the service, we are seamlessly converting NSF items into electronic transactions. Returned items are then resubmitted up to 2 times via ACH because of that electronic conversion, and that is how we're able to maximize the chances of successful fund recovery. I know I covered a lot there in the last couple of slides. I will pause again for about 30 seconds. If you have any questions on the last couple of slides, feel free to get those in the question section. All right. And Resubmit is a complimentary service. In terms of the funds that we receive for the service, it is a state regulated fee charged to the check writer, which covers the recovery costs. So that kind of gets into why there's no hidden fees or anything tacked on to the bank or the merchant. It's a state regulated fee that is tacked on to the check writer. And oftentimes we'll run splits with the financial institution to make sure that you guys benefit with the service, and as well as us receiving the revenue in order to continue operating the service. This is also leading to increased customer satisfaction and retention, and ultimately a stronger relationship between your institution and your valued customers for such a high value, low cost, almost no cost service. ResubmitIt is a complete returns management system. We actually handle all types of returns, not just NSF. So we will still load all types of returns into the portal. Of course, the main focus is the NSF, but we'll still handle all activity that comes through. We also send letters and item copies to the merchant. So we'll send welcome kits and different paperwork that's necessary to welcome new business accounts that are enrolled in, and ultimately leading to a hassle-free experience. All right. And so that wraps up our Resubmit presentation. Here on the screen, you can see the best email to contact us at if you have any questions about Resubmit. That's customer service at unityfisolutions.com, or you can always call us. A lot of you probably see Steph's name on emails and have already interacted with her, but always feel free to reach out to us using that phone number or email. So at this time, I will go ahead and pivot off of the presentation and dish it to Steph for the live portal walkthrough.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone. Okay, so as Keaton perfectly said, this is our Resubmit portal. I'll go ahead and first show you all what your merchants will see. Not only do we give access to our merchants for our portal, we also do it for our partners as well. A lot of banks fully utilize this portal for not only the reporting, but also the returns. I know we have a lot of partnering banks that will send us secure email checks for returns. They also will send it via through our SFTP or simply through our secure mailing system. But the best way right now would be through the portal, strictly because it's 24/7 live reporting. You could see it instantly. We get a notification on our end when we receive the items. The merchants can, instead of contacting you, contacting us, they can go straight through and see all of their returns in live time. So this is the merchant portal. This is what they'll see when they log in. Of course, Keaton was mentioning about the white labeling capability. Instead of seeing this logo right here, they could see, of course, powered by example, some of our Southeastern banks. We could strictly put Resubmit. But this is the home page. For them, they'll probably live in this report section. They want to see all the returns that went to you guys. They got a notification through you that Resubmit has your return item. We're going to handle all activity from there. Once the item is entered into the system, it goes into a scheduled status. Then once our processes are ran, it goes into representment. From there, it builds a report to send out to them so they know what date we received it, a little bit more information on the check that was returned. If they want to do as simple as all items, if they want to see active items, inactive items, if they said they no longer, they wanted to opt out of our services, they could see any items that they would receive as well. The settlement report, this option's here. More than likely, that's just a breakdown of what we were able to collect, what we weren't able to collect, what we received. Manage returns. This as well. From the merchant side, more than likely, they'll get the information between either you all or I. Strictly from the batch history on what we received, the pending batches. These are the items that are currently about to go into a scheduled status. Search and help, as Keaton provided on the end of that slideshow, our support email for any help, any assistance throughout the portal, any return related questions, any collection questions, all that fun stuff. Before I switch over to the partner portal to see what you all see, I'll see if you guys have any questions on what our mutual customers will see. Okay, I'll go ahead and switch. Okay, so some of you might already utilize our portal to its full potential. Like I said, you can access reports, returns, you can see all merchants, any questions, any statuses, you could do all through this portal. Same as the merchants, you can also see all reporting for either your clerical sides on your end, or if the merchant's asking you guys directly for the best information received. You could see through these reports the active items, active fees, the NSF check collection fees that they'll receive, all items, and of course that settlement report that you guys might use for your end of day processes. Manage returns. We can set you up with credentials if you don't already have, and this will give you access to not only send it through the SFTP, you could also upload those returns directly through the portal. Instead of uploading and then we pull it, we do this process behind the scenes, but we want to give you all that capability to do it yourselves, especially as you guys see banking hours, you receive return items throughout the day as a whole. So versus building that file, sending it to us, kind of happening all behind the scenes, we want to give you guys that capability of having it uploading those items right as you get them, seeing them instantly, able to knock it off your dash that all the items are scheduled on our end, ready to go into that representment status. From here, if you would like to upload the returns, if you wanted to utilize the portal to manually upload your returns on your end, you can go ahead and get credentials separately. You can ping myself, or you could reach out to our customer service. We'll build credentials for you, and then each bank has specific specifications. As for, the general term PDF, CSV, X9 file, we accept those through the portal. You'll upload them. You could do the basic keying, or you could just leave it as simple as that, and we'll do the heavy lifting. I'll get a notification on my end mentioning that Southeastern Bank uploaded a return file. I go through, I do the final walkthrough, make sure everything's correct, make sure all the check writers information is in there. It goes to the correct mutual customer of ours, and then it goes into that scheduled status. Say if you've uploaded, let's say 5 items for that day, you want to go to your review pending batches. This is where you'll see anything that hasn't yet been approved by admin. You can make any edits. You could see all the batches that you've are waiting for approval. Batch history as well has that key responsibility. Pending return item notices. This goes through and will let you know anything that we've received and put in that scheduled status. This generates a letter that you may seen the merchants have brought to you, or if they've had a direct question. This is a breakdown of, we received this item. This is the information we received. You don't have to do anything on your end. We're handling it fully from this. If you have any questions, reach out to me or our partnering bank. Let's see. Return item notice history. This is any of them that we backdate. So we want to make sure that any return we've received, we want to see the history as a whole. So any return item notice that you guys needed to search, you could find it through here as well. Launch imaging utility. This is depending on how you would like to send us the file. Some of you all have a scanner that you could directly import to. Those are the key components of the launch imaging utility for the ones who are going to scan in directly. There's a couple of other specifications. If you didn't have a direct scanner, you didn't want to directly scan it into the system and utilize it that way, you can also do it in another form of a file. For the merchants, we want to make sure that you guys have full visibility of any enrollments, unenrollments that we received, and we want you guys to be able to view all merchants. You'll do that in these tabs here. And of course, you guys have the utilization of the search bar and the help as well. I want to say, if you guys have any questions on the partner portal section, I'll give you guys a second before I pass it back over to Keith.
Awesome.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you, Stephanie, for that. That was very helpful. And now we'll come back to the main screen. And stop sharing. Great. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of questions in the chat, which is very good. Give us 1 second here to get set up. Okay. Let's see. I'll go back from the earliest ones, and then we'll move up to the most recent. Let's see. What if the check is higher than $2,500?
Oh, perfect question. So we, of course, will receive it. We want to make sure that we do all the clerical work. We handle all returns. So if it's over 2,500, we'll still receive it, we'll enter it. So our mutual customer will get a notification that you have this return item. Although we cannot process and attempt collection, here is a notification that you'll have to get other means in collecting that item.
Very good. Next, will we be provided with copies of the presentation? Absolutely. Yeah, I will. I'll export the PowerPoint and circulate that in an email with the YouTube link to the recording of the webinar as well as the presentation. It's a great question. If they cancel and want to get back to resubmit it, can they? And how do we go about doing that?
Well, these are amazing questions. So we make it very simple to opt out as well as opt in because we want it to be at the merchant's discretion. If they do want to cancel, of course, they're inactive. They give us a simple call and we'll make them active. And within that day, if they get a return item, we can process it right away.
Very good. And if you have any follow-up questions to that, feel free to continue including that in the chat there. There. Will you be showing the portal you are referring to? Yes, I believe that was maybe asked before we switched to the live portal. Of course, if you have any questions after this webinar, need a specific demo or have any further questions, reach out to our customer service and we can always dive into the portal more personally for your bank if needed. How do we sign up for the portal? Currently, we only use the FTP site.
Oh, that's perfect. Yes. So what you could do is you can contact myself if stephanie.spotto@unityfisolutions.com if you've previously spoken, or you can contact that customer service email and we can get you credentials set right away.
Absolutely. And again, that email is customerservice@unityfisolutions.com. All right, very good. Next one, we already covered this one, right? Yep. Are banks able to upload a PDF of just the resubmitted merchants? Our return checks would include individuals and business customers, and not all are set up with Resubmit.
This is a perfect question. For enrollments, especially enrollments and unenrollments, we would need a specific file like a CSV, an Excel form with the proper information. But we could definitely, if it works best to send a PDF, I can definitely work with you and break it down via PDF and just be in contact with you if that's how you guys prefer to send that information.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope that answered that question.
Here, and what I'll do also is I'm going to put in the chat now for everybody. I'm going to drop Stephanie's email. Am I spelling that right, Stephanie? Is that right?
You got it.
Good? Okay. Awesome. And then I'll also put our customer service at unityfisolutions.com email in there as well. That way, just for the person who asked that last question, you can connect with Steph on that. All right. Awesome. Oh, you're welcome for that person who said thank you in the chat. Appreciate it. How do our customers get access to the portal? Or the site? Is that something we do at account opening or something you send to the customers?
Perfect question. So we give our customers access to the site. So once that first item is received, it generates a notice that is a welcome kit for Resubmit customers. And that's a brochure, a sticker to post at their business, and then of course any information that is needed on the product itself, as well as a Resubmit contact form. And here they could sign up to have login credentials themselves, to sign up for our secondary collections, which is simply when we already attempted our attempts of collection, we send it out to them, and then they could further go in and see what their processes are to ensure that our mutual customers get their funds. But that's more of an opt-in, opt-out basis as well.
Got it. So the merchant is essentially contacting us once they get that welcome packet, and then we'll provide the
Yes.
credentials after that.
They
Okay.
send those reporting options right to us, and then we could set them up with credentials and anything else they may have requested on that.
Perfect. Hopefully that was, again, if you have any other follow-up questions there, we'll stay on and continue to take more questions. But these were all very, very good questions. Thank you so much. Yep. If we use this portal, do we still need to use the SFTP site? Sorry.
That's a good question as well. You can, for reporting purposes, on your guys' end, on our end, both hold historic data for, reporting purposes. But yes, either way works best for you. Of course, you don't have to double down if you've already uploaded it to the FTP site, then you don't have to also upload it to the website. I check those files daily, so either way, I'll be in communication with you. What would be the easiest way on your end to send to us? Because either way works for us as well.
Another great question.
Okay.
Does the bank provide the welcome kit to customers, or do we?
So this is specified on the bank's preferment. If right now with a lot of Resubmit customers, they benefit from us. Once that first item is received, we send that welcome kit out to our mutual customer. I know some banks may prefer to, at account opening, they hand, whatever packets you guys may hand out, any, specialties and information you guys would. But we could provide kits and our materials to hand out personally, or of course you can utilize when we receive that first item, we're going to send that welcome kit out.
Perfect. And you are welcome. Again, I see another thank you in the questions. We appreciate it. These are all great questions. Yeah. We'll continue to give a few minutes for anybody else who wants to enter more questions. And then again, I will, in the post e-blast, just to recover it, I'll put the link to download the presentation that you saw. I will put the YouTube link to the recording of today's webinar. And then also I'll drop Janine Orlando's contact information, who will be our new client relationship manager as well. She's on a flight right now, so she wasn't able to make it. Otherwise, I would have dished it to her to introduce herself and talk for a little bit. But she is on a flight, so she will definitely look forward to connecting with you all over the next couple of weeks. Okay, here's another question. When we resubmit a check, it gets charged back to the customer. About how long does it take for them to get their funds that they lost by the chargeback?
Perfect question. So our entirety process, once the item is received, is 5 to 7 business days. And this is strictly because we want to make sure that the check writer doesn't have any last time stop payments on it, any ones and twosies that could happen during that process. But yes, about 5 to 7 business days as the entirety of the process.
Very good.
Those are great questions.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I sound like a broken record, but again, we'll hang tight here for a minute to see if there's any follow-up questions. And again, you can always email Steph or customer service as well with any further inquiries. Okay. I've noticed the questions slow down a little bit. Oh, there's another one. Perfect. Do they receive a check? Do they receive a check then by the person, or does that automatically get deposited into their account?
So during the enrollment process, you all will send us our mutual customers, of course, needed information for them to be enrolled in our services. From there, our representment process through ACH, once the funds are collected, we send a direct deposit to their account. So they'll see it. If we're successful, they will see those funds within 5 to 7 business days.
Very good. And while we wait a couple minutes for any further questions, I'll share my screen one more time to take a quick look at our website. I know we've been talking about the ResubmitIt portal for a long time, but if you truly ever need anything, you can also always go to our direct site, unityfisolutions.com, and all the information is here as well. It actually mentions some of our other service offerings and products that we have at Unity, as well as a direct link to the ResubmitIt portal, the Unity portal as well. Talks about our company and has just more information about what we offer and who we are. So if you ever are interested in other services or have any questions about ResubmitIt, again, all of our contact information is on the site, and you can learn a lot more about our business here on the homepage. Okay, I think we got a couple more questions that came in. We already answered this one, right? Did they receive a check then by the person?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Can you confirm the needed information for the accounts?
Of course, when we receive those enrollments with that information, we can, of course, send you guys a confirmation that we did receive. This is the accurate information. And if we give you the credentials to the website, you can also look at those reports, all those active merchants, and confirm on your end as well. Say if we have our mutual customer moved their business from, one state to another or one county to another and their address has changed, you can also edit their any information. Even though they're already enrolled, you already sent their enrollment form, their routing and account's still the same, but their address is different. You could simply submit a update form as well.
Very good. And in the chat there, I just dropped our link to the website. So you will see Stephanie's email there, our customer service email, which goes to our entire team. That's probably always the most, probably the most preferred method of communication. Steph will see it if you email that. But in the event that she's out sick or on PTO, the customer service email is always great to reach anybody at Unity. And then also, I just put the website link so that you have that as well. All right, we answered that one. If the merchant receives funds by other means, how do we cancel the resubmitted item?
Good question. So what you guys will do, or what the merchant can do, is either contact me or contact our customer service team, and we have a process in place for, say, if they received funds other ways, we can quickly stop it and put it as on our pretty much do not represent list, and it'll stop it in its tracks. We'll notify via letter once we stop it in its tracks that, as requested, we are not going to attempt collection on this item.
All right. Very good. We still got some time for any other questions anybody may have. Feel free to get those in. right. Every time I've said that they've slowed down, we've had a couple others trickle in, which is great. So I'm almost nervous to cut it too short. Great. Yes, another one. Keep them coming. Perfect. What is the fee that you charge the check writer?
Good question. So we go based off the NSF fee, the state allowable fee, and it's strictly to the check writer. The merchant, you guys pay no fees.
And that fee varies
Mm-hmm.
throughout each state, throughout
Yes,
the
yes,
country.
state based.
Some are percentages, like 10% of the check amount. Others are flat rate, $25 or something in that ballpark. And for everybody on, if there are colleagues or staff members that maybe would like access to the portal that don't already have it, um, what's the best method do you think that they could request more credentials or access to the portal?
Yeah, yeah. Not, it doesn't have to be one per bank. If you have multiple deposit operations specialists on your team, you could definitely contact us and we can have a lot of users that could utilize that portal.
Hmm. Yeah, so just reach out to us, and if there's any colleagues who would be interested in having the portal, or maybe it's more applicable to their role in the day to day and they don't already have access, let us know and we'll get them credentials. Okay. If a mistake was made and the customer was in Resubmit, but the item was errantly redeposited to the other institution and came back again as NSF, could we send it to Resubmit on the second occurrence?
That's a very good question.
Wow. Yeah. Very.
Okay, so let's say a mistake was made and the customer is resubmitted. So when it's redeposited on your end, what we could do is we would receive it, we could attempt, but we can only deposit it one time. We could attempt it. If it's a business check writer, we could do it once. If it's a personal check writer, we could do it twice. But other than that, if we're unsuccessful, we would send out a notification that the merchant would have to receive the funds on in other means.
And if you have any follow up questions to that, feel free to put that in the chat again and we can try to clarify or connect with us after the webinar. That's a very good question. Oh, good. Understood. Thank you. Nice. Yeah, we appreciate the engagement on the webinar so much. Thank you all for the incredible questions. We really like to do this more. Now, by recording this session, it'll always be really a great resource for your banks to send it to maybe new staff that join or staff that are just interested. So it being on YouTube will be a nice resource, but we'll likely do some more webinars throughout the year, maybe quarterly or in some type of frequency and set structure. So we'll be in touch on that. But yeah, really appreciate all the engagement and hope you found great value in the webinar today. We'll continue to give another. I'm telling you, every time I say that we're close to wrapping up, we get a couple other great questions in. So I'll pause for another minute and see if any come in. And while we wait for that minute, I'll put one more email in the chat, and that is for our sales team. It is sales@unityfisolutions.com. Let me make sure I didn't have a typo there. There we go. That is another great email for you to save and have as a resource. So when I was showing the website, if your bank is interested in any of our other products, merchant services, we actually just launched a new product called PayVal, which is a web pay validation based system that offers some higher security, some validation customization where a user could have to type in their last name or their address in order to continue. So it adds a security barrier there. We're always adding new products and new services. So if you have any questions about our other offerings, feel free to reach out to sales@unityfisolutions.com. That email is in the chat there, and you can get in touch with our team. Okay. I think we've hit the 3-minute mark where no other questions have come in. So I don't want to talk everybody's head off, and sounds like we can maybe wrap up maybe 10 minutes early, but we appreciate this so much. Again, thank you for the engagement and all of the questions, and thank you for your partnership. We truly value supporting your business and your bank in this way. We feel that it's a great value add not only to your bank but also to your customers, and so we're really grateful for your partnership. If you have any questions, reach out to us and expect an email from me either today or tomorrow with a recap and all of the presentation link, the YouTube link, and Janine's contact information so that we can continue the conversation. Awesome. Well, thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank
Have a
you
good
so
day.
much.
Thanks.